Hey YouTube, this is NeoNexudus here with a deck update. It's this new deck of mine. It's my main deck, and it's based around Marik's deck with my own additions and tweaks. So, without further ado, Invader of Darkness, 2900 beat stick, and sorts the opponent activating quick play spells. Bandaglon, counter trap card, negates a spell, trap, or monster effect. It negates a spell. Special summon Bandaglon, and it burns the opponent for 15, negate a trap, it destroys one card on the field, and if it negates an effect monster's effect, I get to res one monster from my graveyard, so it's pretty darn good. 2800 beat stick. Gauze, 2700 beat stick, plus his effect, special summon, pretty decent card. Malicious Edge, the opponent has a monster, I tribute off my monster, get him, he has piercing damage, pretty darn good. Archer Soldier, one up from Marik Ishtar, 1900 attack. Slate Warrior, set him, flip him face up, 2400 beat stick, or if the opponent on his own, 1900 beat stick, and if the opponent decides to attack him, the opponent's monster loses 500 attack points. Granadora, summon him, increase my life points by grand, 1900 beat stick. When he's destroyed, I take 2 grand, but he works in my strategies, and I'll go into that as we get further through the deck. Go Kiki Go, vault monster like Granadora, 1850 beat stick, and normal monster. Mad Arch Fiend, Piercer, 1800, good, and he switches his defense when the opponent attacks. Reflect Bounder, the opponent will be hesitant to attack this. When they attack it, they get burned for their monster's attack, but I still take the battle damage difference, and Reflect Bounder gets destroyed. But they'll be very hesitant to attack this if they have a nice monster on the field that they don't have the cards to resurrect with yet. Lakunga, works for my water monsters. Remove 2 water monsters from play in my graveyard. Special summon token. Use him in the token, or token another monster, and tribute off for one of my higher level monsters, 1700 beat stick. And he's a plant. 2 Dralago, the opponent has any monsters on the field with 1600 attack or more, and this guy can attack directly. And they'll be hesitant to attack it because you attack with him, set a card face down, and then your opponent is sort of confused whether or not you're bluffing, because 1600 is not that particularly strong, so you could have something nasty face down to protect it, or you could not. So pretty good monster. Lord Poison gets me back my Lacunda when he's destroyed by battle from my graveyard, revives, and he's a water monster for Lacunga, and he also revives my Mystic Tomato as well. Mystic Tomato, destroyed by battle, get the 1500 or less dark monster from the deck, special summon in attack mode. Blast Sphere, the opponent attacks this while face down. In their next standby phase, their monster gets destroyed, and they get burned for the damage of their monster. Pretty nasty. And although it's not one of Marik's cards, a few of these other cards that I went through, he goes pretty darn well. 2 Dark Geroids, when he's summoned normally, specially, or flipped, decrease the opponent's attack by 800. Pretty darn helpful. And then 2 Nadoria, the opponent destroys it by battle, I get to destroy one monster on the field. Traps, we got Redstone Dust staple, Cruel Haunted staple, Dark Bride staple, Dark Illusion for all my dark monsters. Also allows me to use Bandaglon's third effect of resurrecting a monster, because if anything, a monster effect, spell, or a trap targets a dark monster, negate and destroys. 7 tools, might invest in another Dark Bribe, but Dark Bribe helps get the opponent cards which they could potentially need, so give up a grand and they get a trap card. Malevolent Catastrophe, the opponent attacks, destroy all spells and traps on the field, helps me get Gauze. Relive Monster, the opponent attacks, I withdraw the monster, and special summon level 4, for instance Nadoria, they attack Nadoria instead, the monster gets destroyed. Dark Geroid, it shrinks the monster's attack by 800, so although I may take some damage, because Dark Gerard's only on 1200, it sets up for another play later on in the game, or next turn, when I summon a bigger beatstick monster. Hidden Soldiers. Works on my Nidorias and Dark Gerards as well as other monsters. And the opponent normal summons a flip summons a monster, I get to special summon a level 4 dark monster. 2D prisons for defense, compulsory for defense or otherwise. And cool that I found, brilliant card. I can make the opponent attack into my Nidorias, my Lord Poison, my Mystic Tomato, anything I want really, and it's really good with Reflect Bounder. They attack with blue eyes, I change the attack target to Reflect Bounder, and they take 3 grand. Yes, I'll take the difference, but it's worth it to deal them 3 grand. Spells, Heavy Storm, staple. Brain Control, staple. Pot of Avarice, staple. 2 shrinks, because I run low level monsters, so they go to attack, shrink, their monster gets destroyed because my monsters are stronger. Ryoku, sort of like shrink, but different. Single use spell card, can only activate in my turn, unlike shrink, because shrink's quick play. Half the opponent's attack, those attack points lost by the opponent's monster get transferred to my monster, so instant beat stick. Magical Mallet, for those dead draws. Trick to the Doomed, I get to discard 1 card to destroy 1 monster on the field, so yeah. Discard a water monster for Lacunda, discard a normal monster for my Silent Doom card, which helps with tribute summoning, you know, or if I just got a monster that I don't particularly need at that time, or I need a 5th monster in my graveyard for Pot of Avarice, you know, multi-purpose. Black Pendant, put this card to a monster, the monster gets destroyed, any old how, or if this card gets destroyed, the opponent takes 500 damage, plus it increases my monster's attack by 500, so that can turn Dark Gerard and Nidoria into a 1700 beat stick. Then you got Spell of Pain, brilliant card, works with my Granadora. Instead of me taking 2 grand, the opponent takes 2 grand, run into Marshmallow, activate this card, they take 1 grand instead of me, run into Magic Cinder, use this card, reverses the damage to them, pretty darn useful. And Silent Doom, special summon back my normal monsters, Archfiend Soldier and Gagigol. So yeah, that's my deck. So any suggestions, let me know. Always open for suggestions. It's an old style deck, I know, but it still works. That's the main thing, it still works. So yeah, any suggestions welcome. NeoNexudus signing out.